This man procrastinates,
I procrastinate.
and sometimes it is a destructive practice.
I hate doing paperwork and the dishes.
But other times,
It can save your life.
let's set the scene. It was 2005, and he was in a meeting for a production that looked awesome.
Like awesome.
It had the potential of moving his career forward, and he was excited. Everyone had things to do, and he started to work until,
I got busy
and by busy,
procrastinating.
eventually he bowed out of the project because he wasn't getting things sorted. 1 year later, the producers went bankrupt. Everyone had egg on their face and lost money and credibility.
But not me.
Now, this doesn't mean that procrastination can't be negative. Sometimes you're avoiding things you know you need to do, those tasks that are just not entirely enjoyable to do, or that you know you need to do, but you're just putting off. Those types of destructive procrastinations, of course, are why all of the content has been put out there about finding your flow state, developing discipline, and overcoming the negative parts of procrastination. But there are psychological reasons for procrastination that get lumped into this pile, and we have to deal with them differently. I have found this firsthand, and I'm going to share with you 3 types of procrastination that is different than just the, I don't want to do this because I kind of feel lazy. The fact is, you may not be lazy. My name is Derek Selinger. I am an award-winning master illusionist, a filmmaker, and I've performed all over the world. I've run a company. I've accomplished a lot of my goals and my dreams. And of course, I have encountered procrastination in my life. My whole goal here is to help you get some knowledge so that you could pursue your dreams with your whole life. And I just want you to know I'm in your corner. I'm in your corner to develop the skills and the ability that you need to go after the life that you want. So this whole idea of procrastination, let's talk about the 3 things that are a little bit different than just trying to avoid something unpleasant. The first type of procrastination that is different than just avoiding a task is that you may not be sold out to the dream. You may not actually be fully in support of the outcome that you think you want, or that other people are telling you that you want. You may be looking at the end result of doing all the work, and deep within yourself, you may be going, I don't know if I really want that. This is a significant reality for why people procrastinate. They don't fully endorse the thing that they are heading towards. So if you find yourself procrastinating on tasks that you feel like you should want to do, that you're like, these are things I have to do, maybe pause for a second and take stock of the direction you're going. Is the end result, the outcome, something that you really want? Like, be really honest with yourself. Really evaluate that outcome, because when you do that, you can make the decision on whether you want that. And if you do want that, you'll find your motivation start coming back if you clarify that end result. The second reason you might be procrastinating, and it's not necessarily negative, is that you sense something is wrong, like your intuition is kicking in. That story that you heard at the beginning of the video happened to me. I was a part of a project that ended up going bankrupt, and everybody looked like complete fools. But somewhere in there, I just was like, something doesn't feel right. And I started like procrastinating on my tasks, which is really not a lot like me. I usually am pretty proactive. Not that I'm not immune to, picking up the old video game controller and avoiding tasks I don't want to do. But in this case, I was putting off tasks that I felt like I wanted to do, but something just wasn't feeling right. And in this case, it was my intuition. My intuition was saying something's wrong here, just delay. And that delay saved me a fair bit of money and a lot of embarrassment. I really am a believer that we need to kind of be in touch with our intuitions, that we need to listen to how God's talking to us and be really attentive to what we're experiencing and kind of the peace we have with the direction we're going. Not just the end result, maybe the actual process itself, maybe participating in something that in a way that you're just not fully at peace with. And I think that's okay. You just need to be, again, intentional about it. Identify why you're procrastinating. Is it because there's something that's bothering you about the process? And then see if you can correct that. And if you can't correct that, maybe something else is happening within that process that you need to just really own up to. And it's a lot better to own up to the reasons why you don't want to do something rather than beating yourself up over it. Because here's the problem with procrastination. It decreases trust within ourselves. We begin to feel like, I can't do this. I'm just a procrastinator. I'm not a success. And that's not self-talk you want going through your mind. You want to look at yourself very positively. So the better thing to do when you start feeling this sense of delay, like you don't want to do something, the better thing to do is to really be honest about it and go into the core of like, why is that? And it may be a really good practical reason that you're not feeling at peace about it. And for me, when I don't feel at peace about something, I decide not to call it procrastination, but I call it intentional delay. When I don't have peace, I pause. When I don't have peace, I pause and I look for the peace in the process. And the third reason is kind of in line with these things. It's a parallel reason, but you may be procrastinating simply because you are afraid. It's because you are afraid of what might happen or the actual process itself. I pursued going onto Penn and Teller's Fool Us to perform a piece of danger magic, and it's something that took a great deal of intention to get on that show. But it would have been really reasonable if I would have been procrastinating on the tasks to get on the show to really look at why that would be. And it might have been simply because I was afraid to step in front of millions of people and perform for them. Like that would be a really natural reason to procrastinate. Like, I'm going to delay this because I'm actually afraid. The best thing to do in this case is not to delay without intention. But if you need to develop some skills to kind of bolster your courage, then do that. But again, be intentional about it. I think in most cases that if you feel yourself procrastinating and you're like, I don't know why, take a look at if you're afraid of the process or the outcome. And it's not that they're bad, it's just that you're lacking self-confidence to accomplish those things. And part of what you're going to need to do is just start doing the tasks, because that's where the confidence comes from. But the other part is you need to have a little conversation with yourself and maybe someone you trust, maybe someone in your advisory group that you really could look in the eyes and go, okay, listen, do I have what it takes to do this thing? And let them say to you, yes, you do have what it takes. Take that courage, and that will help you overcome this emotional block of procrastination. Maybe one of the reasons why you're not going after what you want to do with your whole heart. So those are the three reasons. I think the real key to it all is if you find yourself procrastinating, don't automatically assume it's just because you're lazy, but go into an analytical state where you analyze the reasons why you're procrastinating. Listen, it might just be because the task sucks and you don't want to do paperwork like me, and you'd rather play video games. And if that's what you analyze, then you could develop the skills to find flow state, to develop the discipline to overcome that type of procrastination. But if it's because of fear, if it's because of something in the process that your internal clock is like railing against, or if it's because you're not even committed to the outcome that you're heading towards, then you can address those things with integrity instead of just blaming it on this ubiquitous procrastination. And most importantly, don't allow procrastination to become a habit. It's a very dangerous habit because it takes away your ability to produce creatively in your life and go after your dreams, because that's what I want for you. I want you to go after your dreams. I want you to pursue them because you never know what you're going to become on the journey. And that's what this is all about. Thanks for being with me here today. Live bright, love big.